Welcome back to Double Decker Lanes here in Rohnert Park, California, as the Stepladder Finals of the PWBA Sonoma County Regional off and running. And I think Kayla forgot to hit the start button. Well, can't forget to hit that start button. So, we're off and running nonetheless. My name is Emil Williams Jr. As we welcome you to BowlTV.com. What an auspicious start. Kayla will have to get that 310 reset. She is the higher seed and elected to start the match versus Stephanie Schwarz. Schwarz, the number 4 seed, qualified 4th at an 8-game total of 1593, minus 7 overall. Kayla Bandy was plus 30. Jasmine Mason is the number 2 seed.
I'll just start off.
And an early open frame for Kayla Bandy. And the number 1 seed here is Julia Bond at plus 61. Again, Mason at plus 39. Bond already won a regional this year. Won the last one, as a matter of fact, in Lincoln, Nebraska. Her home, away from home at Sun Valley Lanes. Here is Stephanie Schwarz, 2018 Intercollegiate Singles Champion. Stephen F. Austin, 4-time All-American NTCA First Team. And she will leave a 4-pin to start her Stepladder Finals appearance here on Bowl TV. Steph doing a bit of teaching. That's Stephen F. Austin. Or excuse me, in the area, I should say, Nacogdoches. Originally from Racine, Wisconsin. We started out with 30 players here this evening, or this afternoon, for today's regional. Our 3rd of the season. Frame number 2 here for Schwarz. Nice shot. First shot there may have had a touch on the footing, but now seems to certainly have it under control here. And back to Kayla Bandy. Former collegiate player of her own. We have 4 former collegiate players, former All-Americans here in this regional stepladder, including Bandy, won a national championship with Pikeville. Also in the Pikeville Athletics Hall of Fame, and now helps young athletes grow, be nurtured, and grow as athletes and individuals as the head coach of Maryland Eastern Shore. There you actually see today's schedule. If you want to learn more about the PWBA.com, or excuse me, PWBA regionals in general, PWBA.com/regionals is where you need to go. Bandy, 3rd frame. High flush for Kayla. Because all 4 players are PWBA members, the spot at the Go Bowling Regional Showdown is available minus Julia Bond. And here's why. Bond already has a regional victory under her belt. She already has a spot in the Go Bowling Regional Showdown, along with Elise Bolton, who won our first event in Cleveland. Excellent shot there for Schwarz, and that's a double. And because Bond won that, and if she is to win here again, of course she's already earned a spot, that would mean that spot essentially would be held for the at the end of the season, or at the end of 4 events. The highest player with the highest PWBA member with the most earnings, highest earning PWBA member with a minimum of 2 events bowled will get the spot to the Go Bowling Regional Showdown. If either of the 3 players not named Julia Bond win today, oh, no. And a 9-pin here for Schwarz. The players are bowling on the Kegel pattern Autobahn Sport. 42-foot lane condition, 25.85 milliliters of oil using both Kegel fire and ice. Interesting note here that Schwarz, Bond, and Mason, since Julia came out on tour beginning with the Lincoln stop, all 3 are now tour roommates, and they all 3 made the regional stepladder final. So I think the question will be asked certainly, who is going to pay for dinner tonight amongst the roommates? Nice shot there for Bandy. Kayla, after the early open, leaving at 310, she has fired off 3 in a row. Again, if you are just joining us, we welcome you to BowlTV.com, where bowling lives here. The PWBA Sonoma County Regional Open here. Today is Sunday, June 2nd, and we will crown our 3rd regional champion of the 2019 season. My name is Emil Williams Jr. Kayla Bandy and Stephanie Schwarz, your 3-4 seed match to open things up here, is underway in a 2-pin on lane 27 for Kayla. There you see Kayla Bandy. All right, so Steph with a 1-pin advantage here. Bit of a weak 10 there for Stephanie Schwarz, and all of a sudden we've got ourselves a tied match here. Yeah, the winner will face Jasmine Mason. All tied through 5 frames. Two players from Nebraska, Bond and Mason, teammates actually. They could face one another in the championship match. won a national title together. Schwarz, a national champion as well with Stephen F. Austin. Excellent. Bandy, a national champion as well, again at Pikeville. Kayla trying to earn a national championship as a coach at Maryland Eastern Shore. Right now trying to keep this thing all tied up. And that is through the nose, and she leaves a 6-10. Good look at Schwartz there. Steph always with great support from the family perspective. Her parents, you see them all the time traveling to almost every event, especially collegiately early. We've seen her dad out at a couple of PWBA stops as well. I want to thank Jim Decker, the proprietor here at Double Decker Lanes. The national event, of course, took place Friday and Saturday. Of which all 4 competitors here in this regional stepladder participated in. And that one runs high on Kayla Bandy, 3-6. And Schwartz now able to increase her advantage from the sidelines. All right, she'll take care of business. Lead up to now 14 pins for Stephanie Schwartz on a nice Sunday afternoon here in Rohnert Park, California. The weather has been great throughout the week. The very small, drizzly, and you can't even really call it a drizzle if you're familiar with the Bay Area. But that's what we experienced last night as we were leaving the building. Woke up to a little fog, which, again, that's very Bay Area-like. Nice shot again from Stephanie Schwartz. And the sun is shining very crisply here in the Sonoma County area. What an opportunity, our 4th consecutive year here at Rohnert Park and Double Decker Lanes. Again, 8 games of qualifying this morning and our stepladder finals here on Bowl TV. Party surrounding us. And we've got 27 and 28 all to ourselves. And a trip 4 for Schwartz, and that's 3 in a row for Steph. And trying to pull away here from Kayla Bandy in our opening match. Bandy in the 8th frame. And a weak 10 for Kayla. Good shot. And now Stephanie Schwartz firmly in the driver's seat here. The lone open amongst both players happened very early as Bandy left a 3-10 in frame number 1. based on what we're seeing here, appreciate everyone tuning in, and there might have been a brief delay. And we are trying to understand maybe why that is. Perhaps I'm one of the lucky ones. Good shot there from Bandy. I've been good the entire time. Every player, of course, looking for their first regional opportunity or regional title. Max score for Caleb Bandy, 223. Schwarz, if she were to not strike here and go spare the rest of the way, would be in the 220s. Here she is. Oh my. And gets a good break. Nearly a pocket 710. Which would have potentially changed the game. Look at the physical game there from Schwarz. You see a player have the type of success that Stephanie Schwarz had collegiately. It's important to still look for the signs of growth and improvement. And every year she did that and is still doing it, of course, as she looks to beat the best and become one of the best each and every week on the PWBA tour. But a couple of interesting scenarios here, but the strike, good count, will do some things. That's one. And that puts her firmly now in the driver's seat. Again, the best Kayla can do is shoot 223. Those 7 pins on 2 shots. And Stephanie Schwarz will move on to face Gigi Mason in the semifinals. And that's enough. Great event by Kayla Bandy. Mentioned Kayla and every player that is competing here bowled. In the national event, Kayla finished 28th this week. And she will obtain 2 prize checks, of course. She cashed yesterday in the round of 32. And for her 4th place finish, she will earn $400. A solid weekend for the head coach of Maryland Eastern Shore. Of course, the regional opportunities are available. This is our 3rd of 5 confirmed. Each will follow a national stop on the PWBA Tour. Our next one will not be until August 2nd. And we head out to East Hartford, Connecticut, Silver Lanes. All right, 227 to 202.
Caleb Bandy on her 4th place finish here at our Sonoma County Regional. Going to bring over Jasmine Mason and Julia Bond. And Jasmine will get to throw 3 balls on each lane and Julia 2. Stephanie Schwarz, if you'd like to stay loose, you can do so over on 33 and 34.
All right, Schwarz again defeats Bandy, 227 to 202. We certainly appreciate you. Please share, by the way. Let folks know what you are watching and where you're watching. This is the regional Stepladder finals the Sonoma County Open here on Bowl TV. Emil Williams Jr. Been with you throughout the week and really throughout the first portion of the PWBA Tour. Always a pleasure to be here with you. Brent Houghton is our maestro. Terry Bigham here this week taking care of business on the 1s and 2s in the print category. Curtis Von Kruger giving you the sights for our Stepladder finals. So Gigi Mason is up next. Both Mason and Bond getting an opportunity to throw a few practice shots. So while we have a moment, I should say, please use this opportunity to get yourself a snack, a beverage. Hopefully you're enjoying your Sunday afternoon. And we're just a few minutes away from the start of the semifinals. Oh, we got a good morning. Darrell is watching. You know, it's early where he is in Melbourne, Australia. Jasmine Mason, Gigi finished second, of course. She is the number 2 seed. 8-game total of 1639.
Jasmine Mason has proven that Stephanie Schwarz will start the semifinal match of our PWBA Sonoma County Open Regional. All right, let's give them a big, great big send-off for this semifinal match. Good luck, ladies.
All right, Jasmine Mason has elected to have Stephanie Schwarz begin the match. Here is Schwartz, first frame, match number 2. And that one crept a bit high, and so perhaps we'll keep an eye on some moves that may need to be made, of course. As we would expect GG, as you watch some of the practice shots, perhaps be a little bit left of Stephanie Schwartz. First look at Mason, former Junior Team USA member. First shot here on the regional step ladder, just a bit outside, and she leaves the 1-2. Mentioned Mason, former Nebraska Cornhusker. National champion. Runner-up a couple times, All-American, athletic, academic. In her rookie season on the PWBA tour. Again, getting a chance to travel and room with Stephanie Schwartz and Julia Bond. 3 players that competed at the same time in regards to their collegiate years. All right, quality shot there from Mason. And you can see where she is on the lane in comparison to Schwartz. Jasmine's been working hard on her game, putting in the time on the lanes. Look out. All right. I'd imagine maybe the slightest of nerves for Gigi, but someone who has plenty of experience in high-level situations, World Bowling Youth Championships, for example. Now back to Schwartz. And Steph, of course, a good arrow right. In comparison to Mason, but she leaves a 2-pin. And so high flush, crept high on the left lane, and now a 2-pin on the right lane. Steph gives the old head shake on that one there. There's Gigi. Doing some cool stuff on social media is Jasmine. Be sure to follow all of our players on social media. They certainly keep you up to date on what they're doing. And now a 4-pin for Schwartz. So perhaps there's some bit of transition for Schwartz to maneuver through, deal with here. And she will handle the single pin. Gigi from Providence, Rhode Island. And this right lane so far here, 2-pin on the right lane for Stephanie Schwartz, and now a 2-4-8-10 here for Mason. I had some, saw a few players, a few shots during qualifying. Kind of early, depending on what lanes you were on, pair to pair. We talked about it throughout the week. Certainly can be different here at Double Decker. All right, Mason will take the count. You could probably say that Gigi felt she threw a good shot on that right lane. The first frame, which was also on the right lane, that one kind of went out the window. And so you say, okay, I'll make the spare, move on, and then you gotta get to a field where you throw a good shot and you leave that result. So Gigi a little bit behind here on this right lane. Let's see if she can get it back here on the left. Fourth frame. And she too leaves a 4-pin. So some quality shots here from both players. Schwartz, the good news here for Mason, Steph Schwartz looks to be dealing with perhaps a minute transition. And that may allow Gigi just maybe enough time, a couple of frames to try to figure this thing out. 1-game matches, obviously, not a lot of time. The winner will move on to face Julia Bond. Schwartz, originally from Racine, Wisconsin, being an elementary school teacher. Born July 5th. So Schwartz, I'm sure, always celebrating holidays and birthdays. And she can't get the 10 to go. Good shot. The 9 count leaves for Schwartz. Again, 4-pin, 2-pin, 10-pin. And in a situation where, at least at the moment, depending on what Mason can produce, 9 spare will certainly be a good thing. Speaking of 9 spare, Mason had a game earlier. I think it was the final game. She shot 200 even, but she went strike in the first frame, then 7 consecutive 9 spares before doubling through 1 in the 9th and then through the 1st in the 10th to secure a spot here in the Stepladder final. There's one, splits the 8-9 beautifully. Finding the 1-3 is Schwartz. And that's a good way to start a match. Trying to figure some things out, ball reaction. And maybe going away, but more so about transition. Makes some minor adjustments and then splits the 8-9 in the 5th. Now to Mason, looking for her first strike. Has had some troubles on this right lane. And still with some trouble trying to figure it out. 3, 6, 10. It's one of those things where if you get one right early, then you leave a 2, 4, 8, 10 on a good shot, then you try to make the adjustment. So you don't do that, and that natural reaction is to go high in a sense, and she leaves a 3, 6, 10 here. Mason graduated from Nebraska in 2017. Her major business administration. She minored in informatics. And she handles the 3, 6, 10. not only a professional bowler, but an entrepreneur, excuse me. Talked about what she does and on social media. One of the logos on her jersey is Guy Game. So be sure to check her out on social to learn more about that. That looks good, and it is. First strike of the match for Gigi. Well, she's got an uphill battle to climb right now versus Stephanie Schwarz. I want to thank, again, our good crew and staff here. We'll get to them in a minute as Schwarz looking for the first double. Yeah, gets it to go. Schwarz mentioned one of her most memorable moments, or the most memorable at this moment in time in her career, as winning the 2016 NCAA National Championship with Stephen F. Austin. She's also the 2016 U.S. Amateur Champion, and a member of Team USA 2016 and 2017, and Junior Team USA from 2014 to 2017. Now looking to add regional champion to her resume. And with shots like that, she's going to do it. 3 in a row for Schwarz. All right, Mason with some work to do to apply at least a little pressure here. Front facing view. 5-step approach. And the right lane. The bugaboo for Gigi. Now a 2-8-10. And Julia Bond warming up to our right. There's Stephanie Schwarz. Hydration is key. All right, the count yet again. It's been this right lane for Mason. And now max score 199 for Jasmine. Schwarz in the driver's seat, pacing the two teams at this moment in time. Gigi won all events gold at the 2016 World Bowling Youth Championships. Quality shot there, and she wraps a 10. Mason just trying to find something else here. See some folks in the chat talking about who's going to win, who they think is going to win. A good spare there for Gigi. Right now, Stephanie Schwarz is the inside track. You never know how it all goes down in a one-game match. Bond with some experience as the #1 seed. She won from that post at the Lincoln Regional. Schwarz, however, looking to climb the ladder as the #4 seed. All right, 10 pin here in the 8th frame, but 9 spare will be certainly good for Stephanie Schwarz. Here's the lone item that I would disagree with in regards to Stephanie Schwarz. Her favorite athlete is Anthony Rizzo, which means that Steph is a Cubs fan. And we just can't have that. We're going to have a conversation. Spare made for eighth. Or excuse me, in the eighth, I beg your pardon. Take this opportunity to thank our sponsors on the PWBA Tour, Bowlerex.com, GoBowling.com, Nationwide, Pepsi, and Cubica AMF. Ninth frame for Steph, and she will be moving on with just needs a few pins in the 10th frame, and she will face Julia Bond for the Sonoma County Regional Open Championship. I'd like to see Gigi be able to figure some things out here before she leaves this right lane. Makes a ball change on it. Opportunity to learn. Able to get the 10 down, however, and just the 2-4-8 this time. Never could get any shape as she tried a different ball, and it was a little different. It started to shape just a touch earlier. But never saw the right shape here on the right lane. And even more devastating when you don't leave anything you can make. That certainly makes it all the more difficult. She could have released to remain in the match by keeping some things clean. But this will not be the last time, certainly. You see Gigi, in fact, she's just getting started. On the national tour, she opened up the season, finished 28th in Cleveland, then 25th at the Twin Cities Open. Missed the cut in Lincoln, and then finished 15th at the Queens after making a very nice run in the contenders bracket. There you go. Every situation in a young player's career is a learning one. Every time you step out on the lane, it's an opportunity to learn, but especially where not only where Gigi is, but Julia and even Stephanie, for that matter. Steph came out a little bit last season and got her first taste of PWBA life and back again, and I'm sure able to share some of the things and tips that she's learned from the few events she bowled in 2018 and sharing those with her tour roommates. And one last look here at Jasmine Mason as she awaits the ball to come back. She's going to change balls. She now throwing the ball that she threw in the right lane in frame number 9. Again, not wasting the opportunity to learn some information that perhaps she could use at a later date. All right, Stephanie Schwarz will advance to face Julia Bond in the title match. .173 the final for Jasmine Mason. Schwarz went to get a different bowling ball to try some things, and she has that opportunity to do so here in the 10th. Julia Bond will probably be, I would say, maybe a few boards left of Schwarz, but they will be keeping their angles in front of them for the majority. And so they'll be playing them somewhat similar. That's my first hypothesis / educated guess on where Julia might be. We'll watch a little bit of practice as she comes over to get a few shots of warm-up. So don't go anywhere, folks. The championship match is on the way. We apologize for those of you who may be experiencing some difficulties. There are some issues and things that we actually don't have any control over for change. And so we apologize for that. All right, official score, 222 to 173. Gigi will finish third. And she will earn $550 for her time and effort today. So the championship match is on the way. Julia Bond, the number 1 seed, versus number 4 seed Stephanie Schwarz. And Steph has gone 227, 222 in her opening matches. She's got a great look, as you can tell. Gained some information on in the 10th frame. It'll be all about what Julia Bond will do here. Who's going to pay for dinner? We'll find out amongst these two roommates next here on Bowl TV.
Should, but no. We did say our plan was 1, 2, 3, so we got that so far, so that's good, right? True story.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Julia Bond is the higher seed, and she has determined that Stephanie will start our match. So how about a great big round of applause as we begin our championship match at the PWBA Sonoma County Regional.
Julia Bond, the number 1 seed,
Ladies.
has elected to have Stephanie Schwarz begin the match. All right, regional title on the line here. Bond looking for her second, Schwarz looking for her first, and gets a nice break on the left lane. Very similar to her first frame in the semifinal. Able to cave in what would have been a split. It's an X on the scoreboard. And here is Julia Bond. Just moved back to Aurora, Illinois, western suburbs of Chicago. Again, a teammate of Jasmine Mason's at Nebraska, a longtime competitor and foe. It's Stephanie Schwarz. Excellent opening shot. A lot of competitive matches and events featuring Nebraska and Stephen F. Austin. So in a way, this is nothing new, I'm sure, for these two. And now throw in the added bonus of these players now becoming roommates and developing those type of friendships. Certainly goes unnoticed here as well. The value certainly of collegiate bowling on full display on the Professional Women's Bowling Association Tour. Second frame for Julia. You saw that head pin go right around the 10 on lane 27. Bond, of course, the accolades are certainly impressive. You have to go back to 2013. You think about when it really started for Julia, when she won the U20 championship at Junior Gold again in 2013. That really set things off. A couple years later, she's at Nebraska. She takes care of business on the 10 pin. Second frame for Schwarz. Schwarz looking for an early double, and boy, that is what we call a no-doubter. Excellent shot there for Schwarz. Again, on the line for Stephanie specifically is a spot in the Go Bowling Regional Showdown. Again, the winners of the first 4 regionals: Cleveland, Lincoln, here in Sonoma County, and in August, first weekend of August, in Hartford or East Hartford, Connecticut. Those 4 players will earn a spot in the Go Bowling Regional Showdown. We have 2 already, Elise Bolton and Julia Bond. If Schwarz wins, she's in. We'll tell you about Bond in a second. And a 6-10 there for Schwarz. Got that one in, but leave something makeable. If Bond wins, and we touched on it a little bit at the top of the broadcast, the spot ultimately will be determined by the highest earner of PWBA members who have bowled in at least 2 regional events. All right, spare made for Steph. One of the great pieces of info going to take into account every week is, again, talking about the collegiate program, but the youth movement here in the PWBA Tour. Just how impressive collegiate players are, the coaching that youth players are now receiving at such an earlier age. Good shot there for Bond. It's simply amazing. They are ready to play very early on. Four-pin to take care of here for Julia Bond. Trailing early here to Stephanie Schwarz. Bond again the #1 seed. And back-to-back four-pins now for Julia Bond. Again, a member of the 2015 NCAA Women's Champions at Nebraska. Won Most Outstanding Bowler that season. Won the U.S. Amateur Champion in 2017. A year after Stephanie Schwarz completed that feat. Finished 6th at the U.S. Women's Open in 2017. Just missed making the show there. The runner-up in 2018 at the U.S. Amateur, losing to Jordan Richard. Finished 3rd earlier this year in 2019. Just an amazing young career already that is blossoming, and we'll get a chance to see it unfold on the PWBA Tour for the next however many years and counting. Steph didn't like it at all, and wow. Yes, indeed. Woo, as you hear the crowd. Huge break for Schwarz. She's been able to break splits down, and that's something that a lot of players weren't able to do this week. Even at the national event. On Friday and Saturday. See players, rolling balls going through the face, and it was not pleasant. No splits being broken down, and Schwarz has been able to do that. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't recall any open frames here for Stephanie Schwarz through 2 games. I could be wrong, and I couldn't find my trusty score sheets. I do generally like to keep score as the matches are going on. Excellent shot there for Schwarz. Looks like she's made a minor parallel. And as the lanes continue to transition, but maybe opening up a little bit as well. For Bond, 3 consecutive 9 counts, 9 spares, 2 of them 4 pins. Last night, the #1 seed was Missy Parkin in our national event, as Bond leaves at 210. And now Julia having some trouble on this right lane. Parkin lost the title to Shayna Ung. Ung captured her second PWBA victory. And the first open of the match. And it belongs to Bond here in the 5th frame. So the early double from Stephanie Schwarz. Bond yet to double and an open in the 5th. Proving to be the difference so far here. Bond to get back on track. 6th frame. High flush. And that high flush strike has gone down on lane 27 throughout every match. So far here, it's a big shot for Julia. We'll be back with you on Bowl TV next week as we travel to Tucson, Arizona. And Golden Pin Lanes for the PWBA Tucson Open. Good seats still available. Get your tickets if you plan to be with us on site. If not, get your popcorn ready. We'll have it for you on Bowl TV. And the first time, Schwarz unable to break down the split. The 7-10. If you recall, she was able to break it down as the pin took out the 10 in her semifinal match versus Gigi Mason. And now Schwarz here with has given Bond an opportunity, and Julia, for as young as she is, kind of has that closing type mentality already. So if you give her an opportunity, she's going to more than likely take advantage in the times that we have seen her perform. And just like that, we've got ourselves a tie ball game. Inside of target as well for Stephanie Schwarz, and she leaves a 6-pin. So for the first couple of matches, she defeated Kayla Bandy 227 and 202. Stephanie Schwarz, defeating Gigi in the semifinal 222 to 173. At least some first real adversity to face here for Stephanie Schwarz. Now Bond only a chance to take the lead here. That's one. Adjustment on the right lane. Like might have been a slight adjustment there with hand position. As we get down to the A frame. Lee could be 10 pins here with a strike. And no love on the 4-pin. This one's probably going to come down to the final stanza. That allows Schwarz here on the bench to recapture the lead by 1 pin. Bond is going to finish the match first. Schwarz will have frames 8 coming up on 28, and then the 9th on 27. .225 max score for Schwarz. 214 for Julia Bond. That's inside of target as well, and a 3.6910. You see Schwarz shaking her head, the frustration there, knowing, hey, not only was this a tough spare, and an open frame. My apologies there on that. My attention had been turned away to, there was a noisemaker down the way. So an open for Schwarz. And now max score for Stephanie is 200 even. Now Bond will have a chance to step up and win this title. Great shot, wraps a 10. So the last few frames here for Schwarz, starting with frame 6, left the 710 on the right lane. Tried to make the adjustment. Leaves the 3.6910, chops it in the 8th. And at best right now with the spare, she'd be looking at 190. Bond at the moment. Max score 214, but still pacing in the 190s. So she is in the driver's seat. Some of you said Julia was going to come out and win back-to-back regional titles. That's a quality shot there for someone looking for multiple regional titles here early in 2019. If Bond strikes here, she will wrap things up. Bang! What a shot by Julia Bond. Talked about it. Julia has shown that ability where if you give her an opportunity, she's Going to do what she can to take advantage. Her game's so simple. Able to just continue to repeat shots. Those in the crowd. All in on that 7-pin, but that's more than enough. Julia Bond, now repeat winner on the regional tour. The Lincoln Regional here, the Sonoma County Regional Open Championship. Threw the shots down the stretch when she needed. What a great event by Stephanie Schwarz. She struggled late in qualifying. Shot 174, but it was enough to hang on for the 4th spot. Finished at -7, but able to sneak in. And nearly climbed the ladder. But now what that does, it allows an opportunity for some additional PWBA members. So if you haven't bowled already, you got one more for those maybe watching. You'll be near East Hartford. Make sure you bowl if you've only got one regional event on under your belt already. Certainly disappointing there for Schwarz, but that is 2 in a row for Julia Bond. 203 to 178. We'll await the official announcement there from Tournament Director Tennille Milligan. Remember now the top money earner after with a minimum of 2 events if you're a PWBA member. Will earn the additional spot.
Better? All right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Stephanie Schwarz, the second place finish here at Double Decker Lanes. And keep those hands clapping for Julia Bond, back-to-back regional winner. To have Julia Bond step out to the approach on 27-28. And I'm going to invite our host and our friend to bowling, Mr. Jim Decker, out to the approach to award Julia her regional bracelet.
So Julia will get her second regional bracelet.
Congratulations, Julia. Back-to-back wins. Keep collecting that fine jewelry.
Terry Bigham out to
For, you know, it'd be all the way up your arm.
take a quick photo.
All right, everybody. We just want to say thank you very much for joining us today with our PWBA Sonoma County Regional. We hope to see you at our next event, which will be our national event down in Tucson, Arizona, and our next PWBA Regional will be in Hartford, Connecticut. So thank you guys again for coming out today. Be safe.
Oh, you see Julia put the bracelet on. She give it a good look. Always enjoy when people don't know when they're on camera. That's funny. It also could be deadly, so keep that in mind. All right, folks, that'll do it for us this week. We apologize for all of the technical difficulties that you have incurred, but we do appreciate you hanging tough with us. We will congratulate Julia Bond. We've got a quick video interview to do with Julia, and then she'll be on her way. That is 2 regional championships for Julia Bond, the tour rookie, here on the PWBA Regional Tour. It's been an amazing week, and we thank you. Our 2 champions now on the national tour, Shayna Ung of Singapore. They are headed back home. Safe travels to Team Singapore and their coaching staff. And Julia Bond, a 2-time regional winner here in 2019. I want to thank Brent Houghton for all of his hard work, dedication, and everything he has done, our maestro this week. I want to thank Terry Bigham, great print work as always. I want to thank Curtis Von Kruger, video production skills, dynamite. USBC Hall of Famer and our tournament director, Director of Operations, Ms. Tennille Milligan, PWBA champion Kathy Waka, and Kathy Kavicki for all of their outstanding efforts as always, and certainly you, the viewer. We'd like to thank you, our Bowl TV subscribers. Be on the lookout for the print recap and video recap across PWBA social media. My name is Emil Williams Jr. Until next time, we will see you in Tucson, Arizona. Coverage begins on Friday morning. Be on the lookout for Bowl TV Central next week as well, and this week. We still got some cool surprises for you with Dasha Kovalova here on Bowl TV Central. That'll be on our Backstage channel. All right, so we will see you then, folks. Be safe, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you in Tucson next week. This has been a presentation of the 2019 PWBA Sonoma County Open Regional. You watched it live and you watched it only on Bowl TV. Bowling lives here. Good night.